This is episode 327 of the Gold Squadron podcast. I'm one of your hosts, William. Who cares? Hegwood. Today, I'm joined by Marcel Random Poodoo Manzano.
What?
Hey, long story. Anyways, Ryan TMB Staniszewski.
I was told that is a new acronym I need to go by, according to a gentleman at Nova. Stands for the Michigan Buzzsaw, TMB.
Oh, the Buzzsaw coming in at you. And James, this is my final form. Ritter.
I finally got to level 12 in Baldur's Gate. I'm an unstoppable punching flying machine.
Certainly are. Before we get into our main topics, I got to talk to you about our GSP patrons. Becoming a patron makes you part of the largest group of supporters of what GSP does. Patrons have exclusive access to patron-only channels on our Discord, and June's posting art from our previous cards and things like that. You can get access to them. Check it out on patreon.com/goldsquadron and become a patron today. So, first off, headlines here. We're going to start with the AMG. I've got my acronym, so I'm messed up now. The AMG new website coming up on the precipice of their miniatures extravaganza. They have updated their website. I even can show it here. We're in the X-Wing section right now. They got all new fancy things. No more orange. A lot more teal. But yep, I have all the X-Wing stuff still available. But now, they even have a link to their rules form right on their website. Yeah. No longer hidden in obscurity.
I'm actually a big fan of that, because it was always, it's like I gotta search home, or I gotta search. Like,
yeah, I just have it bookmarked.
Yeah.
Not easy to access. Not really as public information, but now it is. Heading over to their X-Wing drop page. They got new releases coming up. That new beautiful 2400 on there. Plus, what else they got here? I was only on the rules, but the products page is one thing I think, not like clamoring for. I can get them at the local game store that I try to support, but now they have the products. Now you actually see what X-Wing you can acquire. Anything from the Hot Shots and Aces to Adas to the Phoenix Cell packs. The new core sets. The only thing I would recommend is I wish they had like a just starting out thing or something. But what's an affiliation pack? Oh, we don't have any, unfortunately. Character packs. I assume these are MCP search filters.
Affiliation
as
pack
one of
sounds like a filter for MCP or future proofing X-Wing.
Well, one of them says terrain pack, and I don't think we'll be getting that for X-Wing. So
okay.
I assume
so
that's
the filters are kind of shared across the games for now, which is fine.
That's the smallest complaint.
Interestingly, the factions may have been a little bit mixed, or we might have seen a spicy spoiler for Legion. I'm not sure, but at one point there was a faction for Legion called First Order, which is currently not in the game. So that may have been an accidental spoiler, or that just may have been a shared filter from X-Wing. Not sure, but
interesting. Oh, from the factions here: X-Wing Legion, Shadow Collective, Separatist. What's the Shadow Collective? It's basically their Scum.
The Scum, yeah. At one point, there was First Order there,
Mm.
and everyone was losing their minds. They
Oh my
quickly
god!
Quickly swept
They
under the rug there.
I mean, let's
No.
be real. Legion's probably going to get resistance of First Order at some point in the future, right?
Maybe.
It'll just
I
happen.
mean, you know what? You know what? If they can do Ewok, I think they can do Resistance. Even though there was no like big ground battle besides like Dakar or
Kate,
Is it-
Crate or
no,
Kate?
Crate.
I was going to say, want to try that again? That was quite the ground battle.
No, I was thinking.
Oh
like,
man,
I think
are
it
they
was
gonna have the
S8
little
from
speeders
Dakar.
from?
Oh yeah.
Maybe,
from
I
Crate?
don't know. Salt.
What about those monster AT-ATs? Oh my goodness, those
Probably aren't going to fit on the board.
those
no.
They
gorilla
probably
AT-ATs.
could put in the First Order ATSTs, though, that those were there.
Yeah, those were pretty cool.
Mhm.
So, may have been a secret spoiler there for the Legion players out there.
Maybe.
One
But yeah,
thing I do like a lot is the card views. A lot of these cards are very high res full art. It's really cool
Yeah,
if you
I
go to
just-
the page and see some of the full art done for some of these pilots. They're very large images. These are really, really cool.
Yeah, I may have stolen several of them for a couple of
I like-
like background.
Phone background 1, phone background 2.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's pretty awesome. I don't know if these are all the upgrade cards in there, because they show off like what cards you can get, but I don't know if they do that for everything.
I think.
Yeah, I think the new
so
packs have the most stuff in them. I think some of the older packs just have a
I think-
a snippet.
Sure,
looking
the
at-
the new
looking at
pack
Von
seems
Rig,
to have.
I just see proud tradition for the
the upgrades.
Yeah, and we
the
know
Major Von
Deuterium
Rig.
power cells, I think, is in there too.
Sure.
oh
But
Okay.
Proud
yes, we're showing
Tradition,
it.
Proud Tradition is like only ever in the Von Reg pack still. They've never put that card into like the Fury of the
wow.
First Order or the Xi Shuttle, unfortunately.
No.
Wow.
So if you ever
how,
want multiple Proud Traditions, you have to get multiple TIE BAs.
wow, how many proud traditions do you have, Will?
One. I don't put it on a lot of other ships, but yeah, I really like the two new. It looked like the bomber and the 2400 at least have every upgrade card they can, that comes with them. I think they have the what's included as well. There's a lot. This is like the biggest question that I think most people have is like, because the whole point of a not like living style, but we're not pulling random cards out of packs, right? This is not a collectible kind of game for that. So knowing what you get and knowing that, like you said, like I'm only getting one Proud Tradition. I want 4 proton bombs, and I only get 2 out of this bomber pack. So things like that. Honestly, came as a shock to me. I had been talking about the new website for I think since they got the new Star Wars lines. So it seems to work
It was needed.
pretty good.
It was needed.
It was a revamp for everything on their site too, not just Star Wars. But
Yeah.
they,
Mhm.
I mean, we clearly see they did everything for all their lines of games that they currently work on right now. So very cool. I think it's a strong foundation. Sure. Were there a couple like mistakes early on? Yeah, like there was accidentally 2 Aether sprites in one torrent in the Guardians of Republic pack in the little image of the ships. If
I'm
that's
in on
still
that.
there, I don't know. Yeah, right. But I think some of them have already been fixed. And like, it's small typos or like image mistakes. Those are easy fixes. I think the foundation of the site is really strong. It's a really pleasing experience, and I think they can, as we saw with the new packs, with all the information they're willing to put in from the new packs on there, the full list of stuff, what's included, images, the size of the images, and how detailed that you can really zoom in on whatever in there or take screenshots of. It's really cool.
Yeah, the return of the 3D images as well. Pretty awesome to see. I swear this is just the new products. I think they were putting in here's a really I don't even know what faction it is for it. The gauntlet in. I swear they had some links to videos. Yeah, I remember the Gauntlet had one. Also, beautiful art. Look at this. Amazing.
Is the videos meant to show off like its movability?
No, they painted it.
Oh, that's right. When they paint them, they put the videos up. Yeah, I do recall another one where they did that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Yeah, they're paint streams. Very cool.
Yep. Yeah, Gauntlet's a pretty good one. They had to spend two as a two-parter because it's a big ship. It's a lot to paint.
Such a good paintable ship too. Just so many flat
Nice
surfaces.
flat. You can get those crevices. Nice detail in it. Big engines. Got the cockpit as well. Like it's plenty to paint. So if that's your jam, they're putting them right in there too. So honestly, like resounding positive reviews over here on the website. So that's super exciting.
If you like blue and orange,
It was
your jam.
it was literally a memeable thing for a while that they've been talking about this website for so long, but now it's here.
Meme
There you
no
go.
more.
No longer a meme. No longer swept under the rug. So that's awesome to see. Speaking of that same updates from AMG, they have put out a Discord link as well. I have not joined myself. Have you guys joined their Discord?
Yes. Yeah.
I did
will
join it
say-
earlier today.
I will say
I
that it is
joined.
being bombarded.
Yeah,
Yeah, lots of people join at once.
I joined, but there's a channel called X-Wing Discussion, which I just jumped on, while you guys were talking about the website.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they put other channels because I don't see how it can be very
Organized.
productive as it stands. Yeah, 'cause it's just like, it looks like just hundreds of messages.
I figured I was
Well,
gonna wait a little
so
bit for the initial
there's-
excitement, then
There's
jump
the
on
X-Wing
them.
discussion, X-Wing gallery, X-Wing find local, and then if you hover over X-Wing discussion, it shows active threads. People have already started making threads for the factions for
Nice.
like CIS list building, Resistance list building, X-Wing wish list, Scum list building, Republic. Basically, every faction has a list building
Mhm.
thread within the discussion. So
Except Republic, I guess. It's just
Yeah,
bad
triple.
main arcs.
Yeah, triple arcs.
All right,
Pick two
so-
foreign partners. List building discussion over.
Wait, real quick then. For those of us who aren't on Discord all the time, I just figured it out now, as you were saying. But can you just walk people through it, or at least for the video, for the people that are watching it on video, or maybe even just explain?
yeah,
Because
Superman
I
could give us
didn't
a
see
little-
any of that. Yeah. I just see X-Wing discussion.
So yeah, if you go to the X-Wing discussion, and then if you look in the top, you can hover over the X-Wing discussion title.
William,
and
you want to put
it'll
it
show
on?
active threads.
I'll try.
Well, oh wait, you can't because you're not in the. You're not in the.
No, you're not in
haven't
it.
joined
Yeah.
yet.
But you can also look in the top right, and you see a little hashtag sign with a little talk bubble. That's the threads button. So if you click that, do you see that, Marcel?
Now I do. I never saw that before.
That's the design of UI. You don't see it till you need it. So yeah, that's the threads button. So you can look through the different threads there. So just a different way to manage and
Yep. And when you first
that
join,
discussion.
you're gonna want to go to the roles section and pick like which game. Like you hit the icon for the React for either Shatterpoint or Marvel Crisis Protocol or Legion or X-Wing or Armada. They're all there. You can hit multiple of them. They have a pronoun picker if you like to have any pronoun noted within the bot. And then you'll be prompted with a direct message for the bot for the server itself to accept. It'll have you follow a link within Discord to
I think I
accept the
figured it out.
rules of the Discord. and by accepting rules of Discord. It may not happen immediately where you start seeing everything. I know earlier today there were so many people joining at one time that some people didn't like get their full role rights until like a half hour to an hour later, just
Yeah.
because of how many things it was trying to parse through. So it should be a little more responsive now, since it's not the initial like first or hour or two of it being open and available.
Yeah, you might need to go to the server rules section as well. Oh, you did it. Okay, you're good.
Yeah, I picked my role. I got the rules pinned up here. Pretty much, don't just be normal.
Yeah.
Normal things.
Normal
This
in our
is
society right now might
Yeah.
not be enough for this one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Better than
Maybe-
normal.
Maybe
It'd be
read
great.
these rules.
Yeah, we're gonna leave these rules up here for a little bit for anybody watching the video. But basically, I mean, this is like we have to show respect. Obviously, voice your concerns, but this, I mean, unlike our Discord, maybe your locals Discord for your game store. I mean, they're gonna probably not appreciate spamming and stuff. They lay it all out in here, as far as like what should and you shouldn't do. But more or less, if you're questioning the appropriateness of your post, probably not appropriate. Keep it cool. We're trying to take this tool because I know a lot of people like they're off Facebook these days. They're not on Instagram or X or whatever.
Reddit.
I can't keep up with that stuff. But the the officialness does pull a lot of people in. That same thing of like there's like an official Facebook group, I think, for like Shatterpoint and Legion, things like that. But there was never one for X-Wing. So if you would prefer the official channel, you don't want to go onto a gaming groups one, this could be a great place to do it as well. Hopefully we could get some of quicker answers to maybe like rules questions, not like during your game, but like of something that would also be posted to the I don't know why I'm not filtering this, but let's go back to the super rules. I can't read what people are saying in general at the same time, but honestly, like super exciting. I'm glad they're still pushing these community efforts, trying to be part of the community. They want to hear your feedback, but at the same time, if you spam, why is X-Wing not at the miniatures extravaganza? Where's our new ships? Not going to give a great impression of the X-Wing community.
I'll say, being on earlier today, I feel like most of the talk has been pretty wholesome and tame so far. There hasn't been any like bad actors already, which is good sign. But also, so it's very much worth noting. Okay, this is AMG's official Discord server. So, example, you're not doing a looking for game on TTS on here. They can't support TTS because this is their official company Discord server to communicate with the community. They also can't support third-party apps or sites for list builders. So if you want list building advice, I recommend when you go to share your list with a person or a channel to copy and paste the text version of your list, not like the YASB link or LaunchBay Next link, or anything that would be visibly noticeable from either of those two. So make sure you, whether it's the different export options for the list from YASB or wherever, that you copy and paste it so it's just the text information from your squad. I actually recommend, this was suggested by Maui earlier today, to do the export to TTS out of YASB and then just get rid of all the slashes in between each pilot and upgrade, and then just enter down. So like if you have the main Republic list right now, the Trip Arc Padme, after each arc name, there'll be a forward slash, so delete forward slash and hit enter, so it's down the next line, and then so it will just be listed vertically. So there's a little bit of work, but it's a lot cleaner, and there's not a big giant spacing list of stuff vertically. So it's just keep those things in mind. Anything you would have normally done in another Discord server about or from a third party cannot be done here.
So maybe this is not the place to do Storefront Fridays.
No, apparently
I
not.
don't know what that is.
Well, it's just like a lot of communities have like on Fridays you're allowed to post like, "Hey, I have an Etsy. Go buy."
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
yeah.
Don't no buy. By the way, one of the other rules: no buys and sells on here.
Yeah.
They do have a great, like when you said Storefront Friday, I'm like, I don't know, like they do have the fine local communities. A ton of people have been representing their communities, posting about like, hey, there's this community here, or this state, or this main city, yada yada yada. They have not so far taken down any external Discord links to other servers that represent these communities. As an example, I made the Michigan one. And being that we've already had established a Michigan Discord server for the Star Wars games, I just put a general snippet of introducing the Michigan section of this server, the AMG server, and then kind of description of what are the main areas within Michigan. You'll probably see some X-Wing, and then a link to the Michigan Star Wars Discord server if they would like to find locations there or in the AMG one. That's it. Simple.
Going to downvote your post the way they come to mind.
You're in Utah. No one's in Utah.
Whoa. Okay.
No.
All right. All right.
You're not wrong, but how dare you?
How dare you?
I'm just saying, population difference in Michigan, Utah is probably. Actually, you know what?
Right.
This is Googleable.
That's Googleable.
We're measuring populations now. Okay. But yeah.
Hate measuring contest.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean that's
It
super
wasn't meant to
exciting.
be a context, just making sure I wasn't immediately wrong.
I mean that's
Michigan
fair.
is-
We're fact checking.
2 times bigger than Utah population-wise. Okay.
Well, Michigan has like 2 or 3 cities. Utah has the one.
Yeah, but actually Utah has more people.
Does it actually? Google just told me I had more.
Oh no, I definitely read that wrong. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. He tried to slip it in there last comment.
Wow. you can't get a reading thing by me. I'm Orion.
Yeah. So, but anyways, that's super awesome. Let them know that you appreciate it and that it's always a great place to share those ideas. Let people know where you're from, where you're playing from. You never know. There could be somebody who's just floating around on the internet down the street from you who just wants to play X-Wing. So, like I said before, the officialness of it really draws people in, so they're not like swindled or confused about rules. They do another thing is, I know it's a big thing on Reddit. Go to Reddit, the subreddit, if you really are interested. But basically, they said a thing about no homebrew or custom content. We would like to keep things very clear about rules, miniatures, and products are official and what are not. And for some people, that is the draw of this kind of environment. So, pretty awesome to see that those new things coming out from AMG. But
Yeah.
go
So, back
ahead.
to what we
Go
talked
ahead.
about
Go ahead.
last week, with that general post of like, hey, let's talk about like that message to our community. This may have been in ahead of the new website and the Discord. Like, hey, we're
That's
laying
true.
down the ground rules here.
That's true. They're respectable audience. PSA should also apply to their Discord.
Yeah. But
What is
I know some people
Miniatures
were like,
Extravaganza? Is that this weekend or next weekend? This Thursday or next Thursday? I think it's the 14th, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's this week.
is it this
We're
week?
on the precipice of it.
Yeah, it's this week. Yeah.
Extravaganza. Yeah, it turns out there's only one mini extravaganza on Google, so
Hey, you know what? You get
pretty
a unique
name.
name. You stick with it.
Stick with it. Yeah, starts Thursday, the 14th. Yeah, so check it out if you want to take a look at a bunch of painting stuff. There's a little bit of like behind the scenes for development as well. So at this time, there's currently nothing as far as X-Wing or Armada goes, but they may sprinkle something in there somewhere. We'll see. Maybe surprise Sunday cast. It's only X-Wing and Armada. Let me dream.
That is pretty awesome.
Okay, Monkey's Paw. You get it, but it's painting only.
I'm in. I'm in.
All right.
Fair enough.
As long as you're happy.
As long as they're painting new stuff, whatever.
Hey, I'm in it.
Yeah. That is something cool that they've done with Shatterpoint and MCP is like the new thing that they're like the new release. They paint it like very near to the release date. That way people like get to like take a look at it.
I mean the assembly of those has to be a like. I know they have like help guides on their new website, but
there is a whole assembly section. Yeah.
Yeah, for a novice like myself, if ever I wanted to do something, I would need as much direction as possible.
Yeah.
So like watching a video would be like super helpful. Watching somebody else do it.
Yeah. Very true. Because I definitely messed up several of my minis building my MCP, my Shatterpoint and MCP. That arm does not go there.
The
That is a leg hole.
with the MCP, with the MCP, not MCP, is Shatterpoint. Is that as difficult as MCP in terms of building?
I would say it's about the same level. From what I remembered of MCP, it's been quite a while since I built anything for it. But I would say it's about on the same level. And it's also like the same level or higher of like quality. Like it is very high quality.
Yeah, I couldn't do the first one. Like I hit a brick wall with like the upper torso of the first character.
Yeah, if you want some easy stuff, go the good guys route. Go clones. Do not go droids. I heard that the B1s are even worse than the Legion B1s because like their head comes in two pieces, just their head. So, and that's small. And then like Grievous, I heard a lot of people had trouble with Grievous putting him together. So. If you're wanting to go the easy route as far as building and painting, probably go clones.
Yeah,
Or go
I
X-Wing.
heard people saying
Or go
was
X-Wing.
assembling the B1s was prepping you for Grievous.
Yeah. I think I watched someone build the Grievous, and they like about gave up halfway through it. Once they realized what had happened, they were like, "Oh no! I had to put this there while holding yeah." So definitely check out this assembly guides on the site.
Yeah, we're gonna need it. Now, Marcel, you wanted to talk about Store Champs for a minute. What Store Champ are you attending next?
Not necessarily talk about it, more just give a quick shout out for a Store Champ that's coming up. Actually, it's not just, it's Dragonfall. It's in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. So it's going to be actually at a resort. It's the Dragonfall is a convention that mainly focuses on like Warhammer or 40K, like those type. But there is a X-wing that I believe it's Francois. So Francois is running the the tournament, and then I believe Nick from 312 is going to be streaming the event.
Awesome.
It's October. Hold on, real quick. Let me get the date. It is, I believe, October 10 and 11. No, wait, that's not. 2 seconds. Anyway, it's like the second week of October, I believe. Getting it here, yeah. And the big thing is that they're actually running 2 store championships instead of running, since it's not a Worlds qualifier event. They are actually doing day 1 and day 2, but each day is itself a store championship. So there's going to be a store championship on Saturday with an invite, and then there's going to be a store championship on Sunday with an invite, and you can attend both. So I thought that was pretty cool for the people that are still shopping for that invite. And yeah, I do believe it's on October 7th and 8th. There you go, at the Grand Geneva Hotel. And a lot of people from Chicago are going to be there. A lot of people from the Northwest suburbs are going to be there. And I assume maybe a couple people from South Wisconsin, because again, it's in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Kayla and I are thinking about going. But, you know, even we're still thinking about going. We're not sure, but we might go. Kayla still needs the invite. And that's like you get 2 cracks at it. But I thought that was pretty cool, that the fact that you get 2 cracks at it in a single weekend.
Nice.
So anyway, just wanted to shout that out real quick.
So, do you know the game store? What's the name of the game store? Did you say it?
It is not a game store. It's not a game store. It's a convention. It's Dragonfall convention in Lake Geneva. So it's connected to the convention.
Yes.
So you do have to get a convention pass.
Okay.
But so you do need a convention pass. I think the convention pass $20, I think. So it's not an expensive convention pass. But it is at a resort. So it's similar to Nova, where they have it at a hotel. So it's at a hotel, and then they've got like the convention rooms reserved for gaming. So it's similar to Nova in that regard. So, but you don't have to stay at the resort. The resort is kind of expensive, but it's like Geneva, so they have like a million, you know, Hiltons and Choice Hotels and Courtyard Inns and, you know, the other more affordable stuff.
Sure. I mean, I love to hear about it. The X-Wing at conventions. So, you said October 14th, 15th?
No, 7th and 8th.
Oh, 7th and 8th.
I know it can't be the 14th and 15th because that's Crossroads Classic weekend, and Nick Sperry's also streaming that. So he can't be at 2 places at once. But he's busy 2 weekends in a row. Go ahead.
Yeah. He's grinding.
He's getting out there. Speaking of getting out there, while we might not be able to participate in it, I do want to give a shout out to the community who has put on not sure the best way to phrase it. We'll say an extravaganza. It's you can find out information on it. I think if I click this button, nope, I had to correct that, and I'll pull it up. But there we go. Transition. I was just informed today that the conglomeration of so many X-Wing streamers did want to make sure that there was X-Wing content during the Miniatures Extravaganza. X-Wing.life, real simple link there, and you can check out all of the organized streams over this upcoming weekend. Just to name a few, there are store champs going on in Australia, that you can watch on the Fearless Gundarks. There is the Madrid World Open qualifier as well on Saturday, that they have ready to stream. But it's a great resource if you got that FOMO for the Extravaganza. Certainly, the community has put together. I just love how well organized it is as far as time and what streams. So, if you, like I said, if you're thinking, this weekend's going to be all about painting, oh no, there's certainly still a lot of competitive events out there, brought to you by our beautiful community. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to participate this weekend, but I'll be trying to check out that World Qualifier in Madrid. So that should be some exciting stuff. We focus so much on our own meta and our own ideas of what we think is good. Sometimes, looking across the pond to a different continent can show you that people start experimenting with other ideas. And that kind of leads us into our real discussion here, which is going to be about undetermined loadouts. Now, right now in X-Wing, the standard loadouts have made a big splash on the competitive scene. We're seeing them in... I'm trying to think of a list that doesn't have a standard loadout. Well, probably anything from Resistance or First Order. Those are the two factions without them currently. Scum just got their first two.
Yeah. But the main four factions,
I don't know if Jar is in there, but or Gar, I guess. Jar. I don't know. Is it GIF or GIF? I don't know. Is it...
the two factions that have received the scenario packs definitely got a big boost to their standardized loadout.
The new bombers, we kind of passed them off at first, but man, the pricing on some of them has looked
price to sell,
price to play. I agree. But beyond those standard loadouts, I think there's plenty of pilots out there who, what do I want to say? So remember when Grievous used to have the same loadout every single time? Might as well have been a standard loadout. The numbers just worked. People unfortunately kind of gave up on other options. Well, outmaneuver's the thing or whatever, right? My Han's got to have per cap Bistan, things like that, right? So, I want to start looking at different pilots who are customizable. Let me ask you guys, what faction we starting with? Let's go faction by faction.
Let's start at the bottom.
Start at the bottom. Okay.
So
start at the bottom. Now we're here.
So Scum?
No,
Whoa.
Scum. Both bottom and bottom. Bottom of the list, but bottom of our rankings.
Okay.
The top of our hearts, though.
Top of our hearts. Who's the first pilot you want to talk about, Marcel?
Well, actually, I'm just going to delete that.
Okay.
Well, okay, you got it. Well, I'm going to talk about the ones that you guys didn't mention, and I don't think anybody is talking about, which is Dace Bonearm. So, right. Dace Bonearm is 4 points. He comes in with a free Moldy Crow. So he is a 4-point Moldy Crow carrier. Moldy Crow actually, people haven't been flying Moldy Crow forever and a half. So as a reminder, Moldy Crow gives you a 3 attack die primary out of the front. So now you have 2 arcs, a 3 die primary plus rotating arc with 2 dice. And it allows you to hold on to 2 focuses, maximum 2 focuses. So you don't have to discard your focuses at the end of the turn. And gives you illicits, talent, crew, modifications, and payload. So a lot of options to go here. And the way that I've been flying them lately and have been getting a ton of fun out of it has been with Contraband Cybernetics. Um, the what is he called? Where is he? Where is he? The Mandalorian at 2 points crew
Ooh, okay. Contraband, Mandalorian.
and Notorious. So super simple. It's basically almost an X-wing, but he carries around the 2 focuses around. Great for boxes. The Contraband allows him to use his red stop and still be able to, again, play objectives, take an action, and do those sorts of things. Or if he has to boost and stress himself, it enables him to still take that, do a white maneuver if he needs to the next turn and still be able to action. Or in a extreme situation, just kind of double stress himself, stop 2 turns in a row, and the second time taking an action. With the double arc, really gives him a lot of coverage for Notorious when the people shoot him. He's initiative 4, so a lot of higher initiative ships will shoot him. And then in situations, the Mandalorian is there to give him a white reinforce. So you got a ship that tugs around 2 focuses, has Notorious, and can be reinforced, and just making him a really bad target to shoot at. So I've been flying him with different squad mates, but in every situation he's been way better than any X-wing at 4 points. Not better than T-70s at 4 points. I think there's some T-70s that take the cake that we'll talk about. But for the Scum faction, he is a pretty good 4-pointer. I don't know. Have you guys tried him, or would you guys have a different loadout for him?
I mean, Moldy Crow at 4 points. That's a steal. I love that Notorious on him. I've seen people try this with like Paylob as well, but Paylob's very expensive for a Hawk,
5 points,
anyways.
yeah.
I mean, for a Hawk, that's very expensive.
I guess in the realm of the overall question on the loadouts, is there anyone here that could think of one loadout configuration with Dace that is worth it more than investing in Notorious? Because obviously you're taking an illicit. I've normally just done false transponder codes and Notorious, just simple 12 points. Since there's been a lot of locking stuff in Luke around, just to dissuade the ability to do a pro torp. I definitely see using Mando and Contraband. That's good too. Is there anyone not going Notorious? Do you think that's even worthwhile considering?
I think if you have another Notorious character that makes sense, let's say Manaru, and you really want to put, Notorious or Manaru or something like that. If you have a second ship that just benefits from it just as much, because of Moldy Crow's ability being able to hold on to focuses, he becomes a really good sport ship with Protector Gleb. So he can stock a couple focuses and then start tossing coordinates around. Or with Gamut Key, again, every other turn, having the ability to do that. So, Hondo, Gamut Key, what else? Yeah, Hondo, Gamut Key, and Protector Gleb. And I don't know if there's anything else that kind of gives you that conversion into like a support ship.
Yeah, I think overall, Notorious just fits so well on Dace, being I4. And even though you're Hawk and you got some stacked up focus tokens, without Notorious becomes kind of really easy to want to shoot at Dace with only 5 health on 2 agility, even with more mods in the first engage than most other ships can generate, at least defensively. So dissuading them from shooting Dace with Notorious, or at least making it a more difficult decision, probably is why it's a very appetizing pick. And like you said, the arc coverage too, right? It's not just a front arc. You have the front and the side for a diagonal 180, which generally is actually kind of hard to get out of.
Yeah, no, and again, the combination of having a focus token, a reinforce, and so you get the focus, the focus that you're tugging around, the reinforce, plus the Notorious, like that combination of the 3 just makes people completely ignore that ship, which, he's still a 3 dice attack out of the front, even if you ignore him. And he's really good at carrying stuff. or not just carrying stuff, but just playing the objective game and still dishing out damage. So that's personally why I put Mando on him, is those situations. And I've had a lot of people just say, okay, I won't shoot, and just don't even bother taking the shot. Not just because they're notorious, because of the full combo.
Yeah, I think you have to take
Yeah.
advantage of putting Dace in positions to where them not shooting you is also not an easy choice. Because if they just choose to ignore Dace and there's no real consequence for doing so, like it's almost like this Dace, you got to shove him in there and make sure, especially with that contraband, allowing him to stop for multiple turns to make sure that arc stays on and they're not being able to fly past you very easy. So, yeah, you just got to make them like this might be the tip of the spear type ship here. You're like, hey, if you want to shoot, this is your best target. If it wasn't for Notorious and Reinforce, so they have to make the decision.
I'm trying to. So I know about like Lando, like spending those green tokens. Like you blank out on defense, you can spend your focus to re-roll them. Is there anything really to help out like debuffs to like mess with your enemy? I know they have a red jam action. You don't really have access to anything like that as far as like crew. Hondo crew, that's true.
I mean, you do have like messing with other people. I'm not sure.
I guess if you could gamma key their, if you jam somebody and then block them, and they're like, well, I won't take the red focus because I have a jam token on me, and then you gamma key the jam, let them keep it around for another longer. 7 more points for basically ISB slicers.
Yeah, that is pretty sad.
I guess Finn Rao is more of a support.
I think I'd rather Hondo or Perceptive at that point for 8 points.
Yeah, I was trying to put Perceptive on there. I didn't like it. What do you think about Contraband, Lone Wolf, Gonk? You cannot destroy my Dace.
I don't want to take actions to regen. I'd rather just make them not want to shoot me with Notorious, I think.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's
yeah.
It's a hard ask. I really don't have another great thing for that. I was thinking of some like
I think Hondo is
big
interesting,
ones.
like you guys said, but again, carrying tokens around and having that free action to do stuff, even for objectives. If you're not close enough to get that objective, if you do your round 1 target lock friendlies, then you can take advantage of round 2 coordinating somebody that will be close enough to pick up an objective, or if he is not the tip of the spear, if he's with Hondo instead of Notorious, he's not going to be at the front. He's going to be at the back, coordinating and doing other things. So he's got some flexibility. Like I said, I think he's he's a ship that people, even in the list that I've seen come up at Store Championships or Gen Con or places like that, he's a ship that people just generally overlook.
What do you guys think about taking advantage of that payload slot with Cad Bane? Have you ever put Cad Bane on a ship?
Nope.
Cad Bane says, after you launch or drop a device, you could drop and launch a bomb. I guess. Maybe not good. I'm trying to think of ways to speed them up. But like 4 free boosts with thermal detonators could be a way. Your contraband cybernetics, so you don't have to clear the stress.
Yeah, but it's a red boost, right? So like afterward, you probably want to do a blue.
Well, they got 3 forward, but yeah, not very exciting.
Yeah. Now, if you had like an A-wing dial, that would make the system phase reposition, then the blue move less predictable.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good. Yeah, that's interesting though. I like that. Notorious is so good. They priced it up, but still remains such a powerful upgrade. Well,
what was it at before? It was like 2, right?
it
opened at 2.
Yeah, it was like, oh, only certain people could take it. You had to
Opened
buy
at
an
2, went to
illicit.
5, now it's 7.
I feel like illicit's like one of the first things you reach for too. If you have access
Yeah.
to an illicit, it's one of the first upgrades I try to equip.
Yeah. Yeah, not that difficult to get an illicit in some factions, though. Other factions, a little more difficult, but
Yeah, the gauntlets have them now. All gauntlets have an
Yeah.
illicit, which they need.
Yeah.
They needed
they,
it.
they need contraband.
They need contraband. So bad. All right, well let's keep moving along here
Yeah.
because I want to hit a bunch of these. So James, I'm gonna ask you what scum person you want to talk about loadouts for?
Let's do old T, the T master.
Yeah, it's a Fang fighter who can strip your tokens. He's 5 points at initiative 5. If I can find him. There it is.
Is a monster of a ship. Old Tear Rock. Has at the start of engagement phase, choose one enemy ship at range 1 of you. If you do, and you are in its front arc, it removes all of its green tokens. So you do not need to be looking at it, it just needs to be looking at you at range 1. So it does not work at range 0, so to note there. But this, against certain things, is just so gross. That pilot ability. But for its loadout, of course you're going Beskar reinforced plating, so good on those Fang fighters. But after that, you're left with 7 points of loadout. What else are you putting on there to really, load it out, right? So you have options like Crackshot Predator is a great, or Crackshot Fearless is a great start. Fearless is great with these fangs because they want to be in your face. Or you can also go Crackshot and Optics. There's lots of different 3-point talents that you can take to really mix things up. Is there anything there that I maybe
There's one correct option.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Let me first preface this. 10 loadout, talent, torpedo, mod, and of course there's a Mandalorian, so you can take any Mandalorian upgrade. What's your correct version, Marcel?
It's got to be burnout thruster and clan training.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
he wants to be at range 1, so you can put Beskar reinforced. Beskar is pretty good, but then you can also fit burnout thruster. And then with clan training at I5, he's going to be able to get that focus. He's only going to shoot a 3-die range 1. And also, he'll take a range 1 back. But, for that one turn, I think it's really nice to be able to just, at I5, if you move a second, just be, pick a ship and be, even if it's across the board, and say, you will not have any tokens. And you're going to take these 3 dice to the face without any tokens, and I will have my focus token to do that, and then any follow-up shots. I don't know,
the slam is
I
super
that.
powerful. If you I'm imagining turn 2, your old T 5 forwarded, and you're like, shoot, I'm at range 3 out here after this 5 forward. No boost and barrel roll is going to catch me or get me into range 1. A slam 5 forward certainly would close the distance.
Also the fact that the 2s is the most common speed move they do after they've started linked actions. And that's still actually really good. You can turn a 2 straight, 2 bank, or 2 turn. And you're like, well, I really don't want to have to boost or roll to work my way around here and take forever to get back to this, because everyone knows they play enough Fangs. They make their pass. If they don't do it at the right angle, they're going to take another 2 turns to get back into shooting something in a threatening manner, maybe even 3. Taking that 2 turn or 2 speed move that you do after the initial engage, at range 1 with a Fang and turn that into a 2 Talon roll, be like, I'm already back in the fight. Let's go. Really nice.
Yeah, they thought you were like gonna like 2 forward, 3 forward, and keep going towards the fight, but you hard to left, Talon roll right, and now you're on the side of them. It's very powerful. One-time use though, Marcel.
Yeah.
Well, so is crack shot.
So is black one.
I mean, yeah, so black one,
That's true.
crack shot. I mean, there's a lot of one turn use. The question is that one turn going to make a significant impact in the game? And is it going to change is it going to change the dynamic of the ship? And burnout thrusters does that. I mean, you get that one slam and still be able to shoot, and still be able to have a token on top of that. Yeah.
What do you guys think about, speaking of one-time uses, has the exact loadout for clan training and advanced proton torpedoes? Do you think you can get into range 1 with the target lock?
No thanks. Mando optics required, please.
I mean, if you're fighting things that are less than initiative 5, like you are going to destroy that thing. But but if you're fighting anything, even initiative 5s or 6s, like that is just, you're never going to get that.
That's fair. Unreliable.
Yeah, lots of good options there for old T. No bad options.
Yeah, with double mod, double talent, and access to Mandalorian stuff, man, the list keeps going on. Because you were like, well, it could be Fearless. I was like, oh, Predator, it could be a million things.
Yeah.
So, I do think, after seeing Fen Rao just be unstoppable with that burnout thrusters.
I mean, you can go just full Mando aggression with clan training, Fearless, Beskar, and Mando optics.
I was trying to put 4 upgrades on him, I failed. So I'm glad you found it.
yeah, 3 3s and a 1. Yeah.
I mean, Lone Wolf? I love Lone Wolf. Putting it on there. But he's going to need to be in the fight, so probably more akin to be closer to his allies. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, he does like to be in there and have at least one option to use that ability, because that ability really is round changing, if not game changing. At least makes your opponent rethink some of your decisions.
Right. All right. What about you, Ryan? Do you have a scum ship that you're looking to build out?
Wait, one question real quick. Sorry.
What's up?
Have you guys ever done in any of your Fangs the Bree Gambit and clan training? That way you can be focus evaded.
I've seen
you
it.
You can evade a wide evade during your regular move, and then have that focus for, if you're at I5 or I6.
The thing with me is that debris is 4, so that's taking like your 4 slot.
Yeah, it screws up a lot of the loadout then, because you only get 3 upgrades with clan training debris.
Yeah,
I think it's great in theory if you have like a coordinator, if you got Gamut Key out there, someone who could save your evade tokens as well. I think that kind of synergy could be pretty powerful. But I think what it comes down to is their linked actions, though.
Yeah, I think ulti as well, where he has 10 loadout, versus that may work better with Tor Fun or Fen Rao, who have more loadout. Or the other ones that have less, where you're not wasting.
That's true. Yeah, I just feel like you got to be acing out here. You got to be repositioning. And these actions like target lock and evade that just wouldn't give you the barrel rolls or the boost into range 1 that these Fang fighters desperately need.
Really needed to get that Concordia.
Yeah, so I would probably rather have the boost into range 1 Concordia than sitting out at range 2 with the evade. But yeah. I think there's, like I said, there's some interesting synergy in Scum that could help that out.
Yeah, if you can get both, if you can get an evade token and Concordia, like, man, like roll one paint, please.
Right.
That's all you need.
Something, please.
So please, one paint.
Okay.
Ryan, what do you got?
So I think probably bring up Dengar. He doesn't have a lot of loadout anymore, like he used to, and that could create some streamlined options. I mean, I think our first starting point. I mean, punishing one, just throw it on there, no cost, easy.
It's free.
It's free, right? So you have 11 points. I think you hard pressed for me not to take Contraband Cybernetics. The JumpMaster just likes doing, or sometimes needs to do red moves or needs to do white moves while stressed and still get actions. Which is really important, I think, to have a JumpMaster have access to Contraband at least once a game. Just to have your opponent, even if you don't even use it in some of the games, but your opponent has to think about you using it. But it's very likely you'll end up using it anyway.
So is the JumpMaster one of our really only? Oh, I guess the VCX is as well, but like the JumpMaster really is one of those only ships that like really wants to keep its arc to the front, like almost front arc locked, large base.
Mhm.
Yeah, when Dengar used to have more loadout at 7 points, you used to be able to do things like either not take the title or take the title since it was zero cost anyway.
You're doing
Take like a cannon and then
torpedo
point
and
it out.
cannon.
Yeah, right. So you still had a front, but then you had a side available type of thing. This just streamlines it down to like, yeah, this one wants to just point it forward.
Yeah, and yeah. Helpful hand out there. Don't turn your arc if you're playing Dengar. You'll never get it back.
No,
It just
never
I've
worth
seen
it.
I've seen it so many times where
Well, all right.
Dengar,
So let's
where Dengar's
clarify.
like, I'll get a shot, but
The
Agile
only
gunner.
time this is ever worth it is like last turn, killing the ship in your side back or other side arc would win you the game, and that's the only way that's going to win you the game, and you don't have another turn upcoming. There, sure, fine, that's when you do it, right? But like,
Well, you can always go Contraband, Notorious, and Agile Gunner. So you can still do your rotate your arc in certain situations. Of course, you're going to be, if you're shooting back one turn but you're still heading the front direction, I think the stress more than anything just hurts you because you can't K-turn. But if you're still heading in one direction and you need to shoot to the side, you can do that. And with Contraband and Notorious, like the Notorious the Notorious on Dengar with that revenge shot, makes a bad target priority worse.
well, it's so this is what I like to call a non-bow. It's a combo, but no one's going to opt into it ever. They should never do that, right? It's honestly like you shouldn't put Notorious on Dengar. You should be putting Notorious on another ship in the list, so you have two targets that are difficult decisions to make to shoot. I'd rather not require, like, because the problem I would have at that point is if you don't shoot Dengar, he's just a one attack, large base, focus modded only ship. Because the only way for him to reroll his attack dice on offense is either by taking a target log, which mathematically is the same as taking a focus in most cases. And if they don't shoot you, you don't get Notorious rerolls. So I think Dengar, to make sure he's a threat even when he's not looked at, this is where I go to the R5P8 Astromech. Just have 3 charges, form attack against the defender in your front arc, spend a charge, reroll 1 attack die. If the result's a crit, you suffer crit. Whatever. 1 out of 8 times you might get punished for it. But at least your attacks are now have a reroll for the blanks, at least 1 blank that you have. And if you're putting Notorious somewhere else in the list, like then you're making your opponent decide between shooting the Notorious thing or shooting Dengar or whatever else. Like there's more than 2 ships in your list. I think the last 4 points is when it really comes into question. I think you have Greedo is viable. BT1 is viable. Those are the gunners I'd consider. talents, expert handling is very reasonable on Dengar. Just so you can barrel roll, have a white barrel roll. And that could be really good for him. Help save his contraband when he might need it most. Electronic baffle, right? The more like it's another way to mitigate your stress that you might have instead of only relying on contraband. Is just if they're not looking at you, your health is a resource. I'm just gonna take off the stress I might have had and with 4 damage and just my dial's fully open again. So
I think I got
Yeah,
it.
don't forget cutthroat as well, because it's good
yeah,
to get that
cutthroat's there too.
contraband back.
Yeah.
Well,
for sure.
actually,
No,
it's good
you
to get
can't.
that contraband back.
No, you can't. Stop that.
You cannot
can
get
get
contraband
contraband
back.
back?
They eroded it.
No.
Oh, it says
Stop-
added
stop it.
restrictions. Bad. Okay.
Bad.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
but you can remove bad
Remove
tokens
stress.
off you with
Yeah.
cutthroat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
they remove one of your orange
Well-
or red tokens, just complete orange or red. So even if there's a lock on you, that's also a red token.
Well, you can get R5P8, I guess.
That's what I was going to say. You do get your rerolls back if
Sure.
your friends are destroyed. And assuming that you shot first and used a droid first, even in the opening engagement, you could take advantage of that cutthroat.
Yeah.
Well,
I
or you could go
personally-
the overtuned route. Yeah.
I personally like expert handling in that talent slot and just figure out the last 2, whether I just throw away the last point and take Greedo, or take BT1, or take Baffle. That's just that's my baseline is at least R5P8 contraband, and then probably expert handling, and then figure out the last 2 points.
I'll do you one better, Ryan. Throw this up there. Jamming beam.
No.
Hear me out. Do you know where I'm you know where I'm You know where I'm going with it yet?
No, you just said jamming beam, and I said no.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Baffle.
Okay.
R5P8. So
Uh-huh.
I'm there with you most of it. Drop that ridiculous illicit that we don't need.
Okay.
Get that out of here. And then Migs Mayfield, baby. I made it work.
Miggs Mayfield,
God.
the gunner, says after you perform a front arc attack, you may perform a rear arc or turret attack as a bonus attack against a different target with 1 or more orange tokens. So
Well,
basically,
you're shooting a
Okay,
different
I
target,
get
and
it.
second, you're throwing out your.
so you roll up and you
Your
take a
revenge shot.
target lock, or someone on your team took a target lock on your second target. If you roll up and jam beam the first one, and then shoot whoever is stressed or has a target lock on them. As
You
a
don't even need
follow-up.
to do target lock. Like, so if you shoot him with a jamming beam first, so which
It's
is the front arc
different
attack?
You have to shoot a different ship.
target.
Oh, it's different target.
yeah.
I'm more out.
I'm more out.
It's like if you jamming beam something and there's still a jam token left over
Yeah.
and you could shoot them again, I might be there. But other target,
Yeah.
nah, I'm good. I'm out.
I don't know. I just thought it was pretty interesting. But
The JumpMaster is like one of the few places that Migs actually does work.
yeah,
I
brings
mean,
up
why-
this.
You could just drop all
Brings
those droids and why don't you just fire off a plasma torpedo instead?
I will say, keep in mind, if you do your Migs Mayfield to something, Dengar can now not do his revenge shot that turn because
true.
he can only do 1 bonus attack per round.
That definitely is a non-bow.
Yeah, it's like,
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds
like,
great.
oh, I'm gonna do this
Alright.
crazy double shot combo. Now everyone can shoot
Alright.
Dengar and not care.
All right.
Well,
that's
another thing you can do if you really want to get hyper aggressive is you could go with overtune modulators, Gar Saxon, and then 2 points wherever. Probably 2 points in electronic baffle or expert handling, but that way you can overtune modulators, take a target lock, shoot 4-die attack, and still have well, if they shoot you back, you still have it. If not, whatever. But anyway, you get the point.
you can do this with Manaru, however, with ion cannon instead.
That checks out. The Migs, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, though, it's 2 different targets. It's really the best.
Yeah,
the
but
double attack.
Yeah, Yeah, Ion, but then you just lock something else, and that counts as a red token.
Sure, I understand. It should
Yeah.
work. Speaking of locking, here's a wild one. Trying to do not R4P contraband builds, because I do think I'm super in. I think those are the first two upgrades you normally put on there. What do you think about, though, using that astromech as an R3 to fire plasma torpedoes? But here's the trick. I got tracking fob, so I can get one of those target locks early. So if you want to joust me, I get round 1 lock and then round 2 focus.
Now remember, your opponent gets to choose who the fob goes on, not you.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
But then you can
Just want to make sure.
That's a lock for later, buddy.
Yeah, you can keep 2 locks though. I think that's the trick I'm looking for, is that that tracking fob is just free. And then you could potentially just lock somebody else.
Well, let's remember, tracking fob.
I want tracking fob to work.
3 is at the cost of your contraband slot.
Yeah, I want tracking fob to work. It sounds so great.
It's so cool. It was so much better in a world where every list or most lists had at least 1 to 2 generics,
Right.
not non-limited ships.
Or you were the only named pilot in your squadron, right? Like now there's no choice, Vader, in your black one ties or whatever. Like you get it. Congratulations. But yeah, the fact that they could throw it on Slider or Keo or something like that.
Yeah.
I will say
Probably
it does sound scary to not be able to use your green token.
I was going to say the march for elimination. Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, most people forget that there's an actual bad side to that for the other person. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but put it on Malorus, put it on a Force user, something like that, I guess. But like I said, I want it to work. I'm not really sure. I like that Gar Saxon idea as well. That's pretty good. Pretty powerful upgrade. Shooting 4 dice attacks. I think that's the Dengar's one of those 11 loadout pilots. No access to proton torpedoes anymore. As cool as that would have been. At 6 points, that's probably fair. To just open the game round 2 with double torp into something, yeah, probably a bit oppressive.
To tangent on your tracking fob, if they let you choose the ship, would that be too good?
If it was before deployment,
I think there's
maybe.
always a correct point cost for a card like this. So, if it costed more, probably.
I mean, what if it costs like the same as like false transponder?
That's only 1 point more.
No, 3 to 5.
Is it currently?
Oh, I thought tracking fob was 4.
No, it went down to 3. Down.
Oh,
Down.
okay.
Anyways. At what point is it too good not to take, right?
1. I mean, at one point you just thrown it in there. Yeah.
Oh, that's
1
right.
because
Yeah.
one because Notorious is now 8, not 9.
Yeah.
With Dead Man's.
That's true. That's a critical point there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just says notorious fodder. It was more or less.
Notorious. This is my notorious tax.
Yeah, they would have to reword it, because being able to choose after placing forces, be like, well, whoever lined up across from Dengar is going to get the tracking fob, would be too
time
powerful.
for you to leave.
Yeah.
Time for you to 2-turn and run.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
sir. It's time for you to leave.
So maybe if they did like before placing forces and you got to choose it, maybe. But that's a lot of errata for a card that is not very exciting. I just like can't spend green tokens. Like, like guess what? I jammed you.
I jammed you.
All right. Pretty exciting stuff. I think that there's still a lot of unexplored options in Dengar, though.
JumpMasters in general.
JumpMasters in general. Fully
I
agree.
I want to see them more on the table. At the same time, I do not want to see them more on the table.
No, I want to see more of them. It's okay.
They are scary sometimes.
If I see more of them on the table, it means I see more scum, and then I'm generally okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. In our chat, talking about false and plasma. You could either go marksman, Greedo, or agile gunner if you're like, sure.
Probably do
why not?
agile at that point, just because
Sure.
like
Yeah.
You
the
actually do have a
plasma
front
actually
arc
doesn't combo
weapon.
with the crit generation.
Sure. Yeah. Neither one of those crit generators is worth it at that point.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting. Nobody wants to face that. Yikes.
Yeah.
Speaking of jamming people, Nutano, they dropped Dengar's loadout so much because he's only 6 points now. There's
he's
ships who
coming at,
are
like,
more
squad.
than him.
Yeah, he's coming in at squad like cost effective.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, geez, gauntlets are 7, fire spurs are 7, so they're trying to get him underneath of those
'Cause he's a safe
better
boss,
chassis.
right?
Yeah,
Bosk went down to 7 or
Mando,
6, I
Ben
believe.
Rao, they're all 6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Moralo.
Okay.
Moralo stays at 7.
Yeah, that's
Too tricksy. Too tricksy.
tricksy.
For
I
6
don't like
points.
playing against. I don't mind facing boss, but Moralo is just so frustrating to the mind games.
The mind games. All right, I'll round it off our Scum discussion here with Lima Kai. Probably, dare I say, the best 3-pointer in Scum. I5. Y-Wing.
Which isn't saying much.
It's not saying much. It's not saying
Still
a lot.
solid. It's not saying much.
But you do get the I5 with only, though, 8 loadout. Now, has tech, turret, torpedo, missile, astromech, and payload. So 6 different options for your 8 loadout. Something simple like prockets, probably not a great idea. You really want to spread that points out. The one I saw recently was taking advantage. This is what I was wanting somebody to put on their Dengar, but not really a great option. Is R4B11. While performing an attack, you can remove 1 orange or red token from the defender to reroll any number of their green dice. And then you have the options for something like plasma torpedoes to fire them. So you could, if you don't need your lock, you can spend it. If another I5 took a target lock and didn't need their target lock, you could spend that. You can spend stress, any red or orange token to basically have saturation salvo is what we're building here.
You know what's funny with that?
What's up?
Strain. Because they don't remove the strain until after the attack, but they're already in their defense roll step.
Destroyed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've already rolled their defense dice.
They
No,
can't.
once they roll, it's removed, isn't it?
After the I'm pretty sure it's after the attack.
A ship is strained when it has at
because
least one strain token.
Because
Well,
they had to fix the fin problem, didn't they?
after a ship strain applies the effect to roll 1 fewer dice, in this way it removes the strain token. So it actually wouldn't work. Their strain would be removed after the roll dice step. So that's a great idea, though. I like
the
that.
modification. Yeah.
Right. So it would be removed at
so-
roll. But
So yeah, if you do natty roll your plasma, I like plasma R4B11 Lima. That's probably my favorite loadout on Lima.
mhm.
Yeah, if you just natty roll like neat, I got Sat Salvo now with my lock, basically.
Yeah. If you get the 2,
but also, Mando optics on Fangs can tee that up pretty easily because a lot of times you Mando optics something, you may not have that ship in arc, right? But the Fangs just hold on that lock anyway for future use, and Lima could use it. Or, I mean, I know I just talked about how it might not be that great, but tracking fob can actually matter in that case. That one
True.
ship that on top of the ship that tracking fob is equipped on now steal with that just automatically triggering R4B11 for Lima's plasma torp.
Yeah, they
'cause they're
couldn't
gonna
spend
put
their
it on the
green
other side of
token.
the field.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna
That's
put it on
true.
the other side of the field. I did double check, and B11 does not work with strain. Boo!
Would have
Just
been
put
cool.
more strain.
More strain. Double strain.
More.
More.
There is.
That tracking fob is pretty funny because like you can definitely.
I mean, this is going back to what Marcel was talking about with the Hawk. We never even bothered to talk about Dace's ability because Dace has a really hard time triggering it themselves. But Dace can add additional ion tokens. Additional ion tokens.
Can he even trigger it himself besides Ion Bomb?
Ion Bomb doesn't do
Ion
anything.
Deal
already
a
three.
disable power regulator crit. That's it.
No, there's
Or bring clouds.
it's
Yeah,
a
cloud.
feedback array, isn't it? No, you get the ion. Yeah, not the other ship. Oh, you know what it was? It was banned. It was
Feedback rate band.
static
Discharge bands banned.
banned. So no, Dace can't actually
Spoiler,
trigger.
weaponizing ion tokens without needing to shoot them probably not a good idea.
Yeah, it was not.
Marcel was a big fan of it.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Shenanigans, but it was like with Falcons, right? You had like 3 or 4 Falcons.
No, I had I think I had 4 JumpMasters with
Oh, that's even
feedback
worse.
array, and so just feedback and pass the ion, feedback, pass the ion, and
That's
hey,
right.
forever. I have 9 health. You don't.
Yeah.
But- Yeah, Dace's
But
extra
there's-
ions could be an R4B11 trigger. They
There's
are
plenty of
orange
people who've
tokens, or
considered
red-
like
red
ion
tokens.
cannon Seeks as like a filler 3 points, and that does tee up kind of well for Dace in general. So
I mean, why not some R5s? Why not a dirge or something?
Dirge
Could be
with an ion
interesting.
cannon. There you
Could be
go.
interesting. I though, while I love R4B11 and the imitation of the Sat Salvo, it's hard for me not to bring a turret.
Yeah.
And you can't really. There's no 3-point missile. Give us 3-point ion missiles again, please. Fix it. Like so many people's loadouts. No,
It was
not gonna
too
let me.
good.
Not gonna let me home. All right.
was it too good?
It was 2 points for a while, and still people wouldn't take it.
I was
Yeah.
taking it everywhere I freaking could.
I mean-
was
Well,
like,
that was around the time
Please?
vultures were
Ion
reasonable, and I would bring a bunch of vultures with ion missile. Like I have
That's
3 die
right,
attack,
yeah.
they're gonna do 1 damage, but if any of them do more than 1 damage, this is gonna start to load up on you not escaping next turn.
Yeah. Turns out
Yeah.
you can't leave now. You're trapped in here with our vultures.
yeah, we're not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with us. Yeah. You were talking about like Lima maybe the best 3-point ship. Something that like I thought was going to be the end of the world for me was Juke Seavor. That I just haven't seen any Seavor.
Juke Seavor.
I mean-
Seavor is a 2 dice attack. Not that that's like bad or whatever, but like.
I haven't felt like Juke is good
A
on ships
Hob
that
is
can't
better.
modify their offense.
What'd you say, Marcel?
Oh, I said a Hob is better right now with all the arcs and Han Solos and stuff.
have yeah.
Yeah, because he's
that is
rolling around
better.
with 4 agility and 3 in most situations. Against Empire, he's not happy, but against every other faction, he's probably pretty happy as a 3.3 attack, 4 agility ship.
Empire has Reapers and Rack. I mean, honestly, it's not unreasonable to think that most factions right now have a reason to take a medium or large base ship. In Resistance, you at least have Poe Falcon or Ray Falcon. And I think FO is probably the only one that
You're
has
not taking-
not
you're not
much
taking
reason to
Side
take a medium or large base ship. Oh,
They
just
can't
Xi
even-
Shuttle
can't
is
even take a
terrible.
large.
No. Bring the ups back. Bring it back.
Yeah, free the Epsilons.
No.
Redesign it. Make it better.
Please
Give
no.
us double extra dice on cannon attacks.
No. Honestly, I don't even know why it has a 4 die attack. Make it cheaper, but just make it really sturdy. 3 die attack. Big,
I mean,
much
it was
health.
already-
Big,
it was
big,
already
big health
6-6,
pool.
right?
No, Tapson's like 8. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Dormit's like 9. Like
No,
punished forever.
no, it's their health. They're 6.
Oh.
6 health.
Oh,
No,
6
they're-
shield, 6 hull.
Yeah, they're a 12. They're a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go down to 3 attack dice.
That
Keep big health and lots of tools.
I'll say
Make it cheaper.
maybe 4 dice in the bullseye. I don't know. It does feel bad when
maybe.
you're a large base ship with only a front arc.
And like I said,
Maybe.
make it cheap enough and only make it three die attack. I think he'll be okay.
That is interesting. That I don't think we really have anything that's like that in the game. That's like just like a chonky boy that can only shoot in the front like that.
Wow. Just ignoring the infiltrators, as you should.
I feel like they are punchy boys, not chonky boys.
I
But
mean, they're only 2 health less than an Upsilon and have the same defensive profile and 1 agility.
that's sad.
Well, as
You're
much as we
correct.
could theorize about
Theorize.
extended play, why don't we talk
Hux's
about
return.
the loadouts for FO? Let's go Snake Draft. So I guess it's on me. With Quick Draw. Quick Draw, the I6 SF has a revenge shots, obviously once per round when they lose a shield. Now, I've actually seen a lot of swarm tactics quick draws, most with the whirlwind, who can wants to engage earlier to get extra focuses. But beyond that, though, I haven't really seen a lot of quick draws. Now, of course, you probably need the Special Forces Gunner at 0 points. Quick Draw has 12 loadout. Talent, Tech, Gunner, Sensor, and Mod. So does have a front arc weapon, even though they overlap their turret. So you can go for something big, like outmaneuver. Unlikely to actually accomplish that, though, as you're a little slow without that boost. I know Proud and Proud and the Pattern Analyzer, very popular combination. Getting sometimes triple actions with that white rotate when you're doing red maneuvers, like the hard one or the 3 sloop. I'm I6, so like you can't, afterburners sounds pretty good as well. Things like fire control system, very popular because you're taking multiple shots as well. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, I feel like I would go Proud, fire control, afterburners. A little mix of both, a little bit of speed, a little bit of keeping your target locks around, but your red maneuvers are still open to you for until you end up destroying something and they flip your Proud back down.
I do like leaning into the red maneuvers. So I like going marksmanship, Proud, Pattern, fire control, and baffle.
The baffle, yes, being able to actually clear that stress
don't shoot me.
trigger.
All right. I'll shoot you
Zap.
at initiative 0.
Pretty much, yeah. If someone's like, ooh, no. Literally anybody but that. Could be interesting. Though you'll have to have a red token of something to do it. So you couldn't do it in like an open joust. But like your K turn.
You do one of your do it after one of your red turns.
Yeah, you 3 sloop behind him. Now no one shot at you. You have that last shield. And you just need one more attack to finish off a Han Falcon or something. It's pretty interesting. Fills every slot as well. I like that about it. No slot unfilled.
Go ahead, Brian.
I say if I'm going Proud Pattern, I think I'm like tripling down and going elusive and just dumping the last point since it goes to 11. I don't like FCS is like, to me, not as impactful as that elusive probably can be, especially like if you're going after the full Proud Pattern combination, bring an elusive and just allowing yourself to just hang on to maybe some of those shields a little bit longer. I think I'd go elusive in that variation. I'll let Marcel continue from here because I got some other spicy quick draw options I've thought about in the past, but I know you got more time with quick draw than I have recently.
Yeah, well, just in general for the whole faction, I really like Yttrium power cells, and with quick draw especially, one of the things I like about Yttrium is that it's one of those, quick draw is one of those ships that you're like, you're holding off shooting it, and then you shoot it when you think you can knock all 3 shields off, or you can get it to chip 0, and then just psychologically you're like, okay, quick draw is not quick draw anymore. Just having that ability to be quick draw again after it's completely gone, and it's 2 points cheaper than a shield upgrade on top of that, so it gives you 2 extra points. So the ones that you depends on what you like. You can go with something like Ditching power cells, and then you get 6 points after that. So you can go Predator, Marksman, Fire Control System, which Predator and Fire Control System I know kind of go with each other, and plus you're probably not taking a lot of target locks if you have this loadout. But you can also do things like crack shot and fanatical. So you can do crack shot fanatical, crack shot proud tradition. You're never off with proud tradition. So probably something like crack shot, proud tradition, and power cells. Just to get a lot of offense. You still get your K turns with a focus token, and then on top of that, you still get your. Actually, another thing that allows you to do is that allows you to spend both Yttrium power cells to get a stress in order. It is a stress, right? You end up with a stress.
Right, stress.
Yeah, and then use a white maneuver to get back into the fight and still be able to focus. So it gives you a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, you could go also fanatical and fire control. But the fanatical is kind of a non-bow with deuterium. Or ion limiter override.
I would
Actually,
say
I think
be the opposite.
DPC makes really well with fanatical because you're down and out of shields, but then you bring one back the next turn, turning your ability back on, and that shield that comes off triggers fanatical back again. I actually think Deuterium and fanatical work very, very well together. But I also think Proud Tradition works really well with it too. As Marcel said, you could end up stressed and then still do a white move instead of a blue move and still have a focus. I think both are. Marcel hit. So I was going to mention Deuterium. He, as an experienced quick draw player, has looked at it and tried it. So yes, I think Deuterium on quick draw is probably an underrated thing people haven't tried. And yeah, crack shot with either fanatical or proud would be my preferred loadout on that one.
I think there's also because you get you can get, instead of the crack, you can go fanatical or ion limiter override and get fire control system to keep your
the thing without proud and pattern, quick draw almost never wants to, because you want to conserve that health being only to agility, so you almost always want to have that focus token. That's my problem with fire control system. I only use fire control system if I'm using the pattern and proud tradition, because that way you have a focus and a target lock, and then you can save the target lock for the second shot if they shoot you twice.
Yeah, unless you have someone like a coordinator to give you a focus to then move on to lock, something like a squad leader, Midnight, or Zai Shuttle, I guess. But probably squad leader Midnight is the most common coordinator in FO right now. But even then, like, you're investing, so that's 3 points you're investing in being a coordinator into either just quick draw or other ships in the list, which, I mean, there are some solid other ships that would like to be coordinated at I6 in FO. Like Wilo would love to jam at I6. Reposition jam at I6, sweet. Bond reg with another action, awesome. So a lot of things can take advantage of like a Midnight with squad leader, which we might get to. But quick draw would almost need that if you really wanted to get FCS working without proud tradition, which I think people too commonly reach for FCS on quick draw, and even to the point they're taking locks without a focus, and then their shields evaporate in one turn, and they don't have anything like Deuterium power cells to bring it back.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of quick draws lose all 3 shields in one attack.
It can happen. It can happen. Checking the time. We should probably just hit one from the rest of the factions, as we're already going a bit long. Though I think starting with Scum, which needs the most attention for the variation, was smart to do.
I mean, we could also just, next week hit more factions and just go detailed.
Oh,
right?
that's
Just
true.
Do more. Just finish off with that photo tonight, and then do more factions next week.
I like that thinking. Yeah, you talked about midnight. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next ship then. Going back to you,
So-
Ryan.
I'll admit, Midnight is not a common ship I've gone to, but I've recognized its potential value at 3 points in two main factors. One of them, as I talked about, was squad leader, right? I6 coordinate is good, and most of the ships in the faction have what's on Midnight's action bar: focus, evade, target lock, barrel roll. Nice. Doesn't have boost, so could be better, but having the ability to take squad leader at I6 and just keeping Midnight sort of in that bubble of I'm at range 2 of everyone that needs help, but I'm out of range of everyone else who's going to want to shoot me in the first turn of engagement. And then you can round out that last point. That biohack script codes is pretty awesome, actually. I think in lists I've wanted to try that Midnight with squad leader, I've put quick draw as the main thing I want to coordinate throughout a majority of the game. But then I lock something like Wilo for that long range coordinate. If Wilo's able to like barrel roll jam or just evade or lock, because he's probably already focus or focus jammed or reposition jammed or rotated his arc, plenty of options. Giving Wilo that I6 information at least once a game with that longer range biohex script coordinate, pretty awesome. Now, if you don't care about coordinating with Midnight and you feel like you want just a pocket I3 value ship that can either push buttons really well in Scramble for really cheap, and then provide one turn generally of like extra punch to help push some maybe I6 killing damage, it's probably Predator Crack Shot, right? You roll up on something, you already got in bullseye, take that lock on them, just to deny them any defensive modifications, and then you just have Predator and Crack Shot and try and push through damage to finish them off in some sort of a Nick killing fashion, or combine fire with other ships. That's the only two I've considered really with Midnight: Pred Crack and Squad Leader Biohack script codes. Marcel, James, Will, any other thoughts on?
Well, I did
potential?
fly Midnight maybe around, I think 7 or 8 games when I was still trying to test out the that list with EFO early in the Store Championships, when I had the 2 Whispers, Nightfall, Whirlwind, and then other stuff helping out. And I had this. I tried for like 6 or 7 games with the Squad Leader version, mostly to trigger the reposition jam, or because both of the Nightfall and Whirlwind had the proton rockets as a way to get a double modded proton rocket, or line up the proton rocket and jam. So I would just move, take a focus, leave them wherever they are, and then use Midnight to reposition them and jam to get that. So that was actually very helpful. Another thing that when you were talking about, if you just want a real efficient objective machine, is we were talking about Dittrium Power Cells. Like Dittrium Power Cells and marksmanship fits on him just as well. And if he is only an objective machine in that situation, you don't have to take the stress to get rid of the and shoot. It just becomes 2 shields. So now you have an I6 ship that can lock down one target with a target lock, and have Dittrium work twice. So basically, he becomes 3 health, 3 shields, and it's a 6 health, 3 agility, initiative 6 objective machine at 3 points. So I think the Dittrium also fits in pretty well with him for that reason. But I personally loved the squad leader marksmanship combo on him, and I moved away. I think I had one of the ships that does the 4 attacks. I think Scorch or one of the other ones. I tried Scorch, and then I tried the other guy that gets the strain to shoot with a DT. And after trying both of those, Midnight was just a lot better for that. Initiative 6 coordinate is just really good. No matter what your squad mates are, everybody's gonna appreciate a coordinated I6.
Juke doesn't work on Midnight.
I was going to say a combo you can't do because I don't have a great idea other than like Pattern Proud at 7 points. But as a note, Juke does not work. The ship's dice cannot be modified, which means you can't modify them either.
I do have one targeting Synchronizer and Fanatical Proud.
Okay.
Just bringing some cluster missiles or something like that.
Great for Kylo, Whirlwind, any Whisper or Bomber would appreciate not having to get that lock, being able to get it at I6. You say Fanatical Proud?
Fanatical Proud, yeah.
That's good.
So,
Fanatical, I feel like
you
is very
lose
powerful, but
yeah, you lose the shield, and now you become much more defensible because you took that lock as your action, right?
mm-hmm.
And then Proud lets you at least have a token on those sloops or K-turn.
Right. I mean, the Proud's just so good. You have bump focus, and then now you can still 5 forward or hard 1, whatever you need to get out of your situation.
Midnight is unique in that that bump focus. If you do get turned to false, okay, I guess I'm locking or evading now. That is no big deal to.
I'm trying to think
Midnight.
of a. It's even Psi shuttles have white jam and coordinates they could do. I feel like the only person it really messes with is silencers for Proud Tradition. Silencers love that focus boost, and they can't really take a defensive token and a reposition at the same round. Then, otherwise, Proud works on pretty much any other ship. Psi shuttles, like I said, I'm concerned about
love it,
getting shut off, but just stop focus is pretty awesome on them as well.
I mean, if you get shut off, then you just start jamming.
Yeah, I guess you can't have any fun now either. Is what that says.
If I can't have fun, you can't have fun.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm a big fan of Proud. You can put up pretty much on anything.
Yeah. Turns out they're probably not going to be false traditioning your Xi shuttle though.
Yeah. Yeah. If Gideon destroys the target, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Good job.
Big claps. All right. Who's our one of our last ones here?
It's you. We're going reverse order, so we're going to you. Pick a ship.
I'll go. Man, these are both 2 ships that I do not fly very much.
Well, what are you interested in flying?
I do like Von Rig as a piece.
Or one of the Psi shuttles. I don't know if you fly those.
Yeah, I think the Psi shuttle or a bomber would be more interesting. Von Rag needs Tyrion power cells. And bag pulse. So basically and pretty much whatever comes in the Ace expansion.
Yeah. So I would say probably out of the Xi shuttles, we probably see Malorus the most.
Malorus more than Hask. I mean, Hask has 15 loadout, I think.
No. They both
of them
do.
have. They both do. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, Malorus is I5 is the difference, but at the cost of
Malorus,
string.
Yeah. Versus Hask is. No, Hask is strain as well.
Yeah, but only when you're attacking, though. Only when you choose to do it. Is what
Only
I mean.
when you choose to do it, yeah.
Malorus is a must.
That's fair. That is fair.
Let's go Gideon.
But
Just for.
Yeah,
posterity.
let's be cool. Okay. So with that 15 loadout, you definitely can go the Hux, where you go
Mm-hmm.
the what is it called? The
Tactical
what is it?
officer and Hux.
Tactical officer. Yeah,
Yeah,
tactical officer.
Hux needs
Hux.
a white coordinate, so you have to bring the tactical
Yeah.
officer.
To where you're getting it's a red. It turns it back to red, but you can coordinate 2 additional ships of the same type, and they all perform the same action, treating that action as red. So, and Hass is going at initiative 4. So a lot of TIE FOs are 4 or higher. That the ones that you're going to want to take at least. So, being able to give all of your FOs a focus is generally the most often thing we see, and then move them to clear that strain or to clear that stress they got from the red action is pretty hot. That way they can do barrel rolls, they can do claim actions, they can do evades or locks. A lot of TIE FOs want to see that. Maybe not so much the what is the
Scorch.
strain or the yeah maybe not so much Scorch.
Yeah, Scorch. You can coordinate them before, but once they've activated their ability, it starts getting a little weird.
Yeah, starts getting a little weird, but I mean, you can also take like Muse to keep up with that if you're really leaning into all of this. But the Tech Officer and Hux combo is a way to get a ton of actions around the field, because most of the time a coordinate is you're just giving your action to somebody else. But with Hux, you're actually generating 2 actions at the cost of a little bit of stress. And from there, there's a lot of tech that you can be taken, but most likely you're going to want to take at least Proud Tradition. Probably going to want to take also. You can take Swarm Tactics. That's a pretty good one. And then you could take Biohex Crypt to get your coordinate out there at a longer range.
Yeah, I like the biohex with Hux. I mean, once you start buying into the coordinating.
Yeah, it is pretty good. And then you can take a targeting computer after that. So that is an interesting one because you need that white lock.
Sure.
If you're not wanting to be stressed, so you could be doing something like that. But these eyes, there's a lot of different ways to build them. It really depends on what you're going for.
I like that Hux. Another way to hand out tokens is Agent Terex. You can hand
Eric's, I
out
was going to say, is
3 calculates.
yeah. It does get a little bit weird after that, because then you're either you get a free calculate, sweet, and then you can give that calculate to somebody else, or you can jam.
I mean,
But if you
I don't
get the
think
jam,
the backside is a penalty because if you do get the jam,
No, you can jam at range 3.
yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah,
So you're like, well, my 3 calculates are out. I'm gonna fly away, never come back, and just jam from long range.
is there another?
There's
Go
a
ahead,
couple
Marcel.
of things you can do. So, Agent Terex and Hondo together are pretty funny
Yep.
because you can do it to yourself and you can do it to other people and then throw a calculate over. I think Agent Terex in general is just really good. I mean, it's
It's Palpatine style, right?
it's kind of a Palpatine for 3 rounds and then a maybe Palpatine for later.
Mm-hmm.
But even like once Terex flips to the other side and you do get that calculate, then you can still take advantage of the Hondo action just to do the Hondo. Another thing that I think a lot of people don't use that much is the sensor buoy.
The
So sensor buoy
buoys.
is especially if you've got like some bombers or other stuff that want some
The
target locks, and you
feedback
just get
ping.
you get the feedback ping on there.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that. You can also a combination between sensor buoy and Hondo, where you can basically throw the coordinates and the jams pretty far away, so it allows you to keep. Actually, no, that doesn't work, does it?
No, you're thinking of the wrong
Yeah,
device. Yeah.
no, actually, it does work because it's You get a biohex sense because he's got multiple tech slots. You
Mhm.
use sensor buoy biohex to be able to
Gotcha.
coordinate far
Okay.
away. At that point, I would probably use Agent Terex instead of Hondo.
Yeah.
But it allows you to like stretch out, so that way you can use biohex to target lock one, and then you're not. They come in at different points because the target lock will come in during the engagement, and obviously you're jamming and doing that stuff during activation. But it gives you some flexibility, free actions basically. Those are good. And I think another card that I haven't seen people fly a lot lately is Captain Phasma.
Nope, don't talk about this card. Nope.
Why? I like it.
Moving on to Scorch Bomber. That's all we had time for today. Not talking about Captain Phasma.
But I do like Captain Phasma, just especially on a medium base ship, just rolling
Yeah,
around.
Captain
Being
Phasma
annoying.
is just such an annoying card to face.
Well, let's
anything
read
I
it.
can
It
do-
says at the end of the engagement phase, each enemy ship at range 0 to 1 that is not stressed gains a stress token. So that works really well, and actually works really well on Malrus since he's moving at I5 and he's not the one that's generating the blocks. He's probably running into people, and he's the one that ends up stressed himself because he's moving second. But even if he bumps into you and stresses himself at the end of the engagement, you're going to be stressed as well.
Yeah.
So it stops people from basically it prevents people from keeping guns on target on you because they can't K-turn. Well, most unless you're playing a bunch of arcs, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, it is one of my most hated cards in the game, just because I went in my early days of flying. There was one of our locals flew a lot of Upsilons with Phasma. Phasma on an Upsilon on a large base, even better. And who's like 3-ship with Phasma on an Upsilon, and it was just so mean to me. Touched me in all the bad spots. Point to the doll where Phasma hurt you. Everywhere. My mind mostly. Like, oh, I'm gonna get range 1s on this front arc only ship. It'd be super easy. No.
So at 15 points, this is it right here. It's Proud Tradition, Biohex, Phasma, and Terex. So you're debuffing, you're buffing, and Biohex, you're shooting out your coordinates or jams. And Proud Tradition just when you need it.
Yeah, that stop Proud Tradition is or just like you bump focused and you need to get out. There's 4 straight. Still get a focus.
Turns out pretty good. Pretty good.
I hate
They're only other.
Can we we're gonna fix this in post, right? Like
Yeah, we won't talk about it. We won't talk about it.
It's a Zai shuttle. Go shoot it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go. Yeah. Surely it's the target, right? Not the whispers and SFs that's protecting and coordinating. Surely.
Yeah, surely.
All right, then. Marcel, you want to pick a last FO pilot we can build some loadouts for?
Well, we said we wanted to talk bomber, so let's pick a bomber. Let's see, the bomber. I think you have to go with a 3-pointer. Just let's do.
I mean, it's a good start to any ship. Is choose the cheapest one.
Yeah. So let's do. So we've got Dread or Scorch. Let's do.
Well, we could actually do Dread pretty fast. I just want to point out that I've seen.
Yeah, we'll do Scorch.
Okay, no, I understand. I just
Wait,
want to point out
You'll
that
do Dread fast? But why is Dread a fast thing?
Deuterium power cells, bomblet generator.
All right, I
the-
had the same thing in mind. I just want to make sure we're on the
yes,
same page.
this is this. I believe it will.
I
Doug.
guess the question is, does anyone dispute that? If not, Judge Gab will move on.
I mean, obviously there's munitions, but I just think that if you haven't seen Deuterium Power Cell's bomblet generator Dread, not only are you reloading your bomblet generators, you can get shields back, and when you reload, you can deplete people, so you never have to shoot. Weapons disabled all day, every day. Just drop your bombs, get your shields back. Pretty interesting piece. Fast blocker. None of this stresses
White.
you either. So
Reload.
yeah, white reload into red evade if you need to. Pretty powerful. But anyways,
Also, one of the cheapest ships in the game that can take electro, proton, bomb.
I was just about to say, were you not going to talk about electroproton bomb
No.
on this?
Nope.
I thought that was going to be your
nope.
one.
Shh. Nope. Edit that in post. Nope. Moving on.
That's your card.
Moving on. No, that's actually pretty interesting.
Anyway, so
But
it's
Scorch.
Yeah, I think the obvious loadout I think is I don't know where I saw this. It was.
Can you read Scorch's ability in the bomber for me?
Sure. The Scorch's ability says while a friendly ship at range 0 to 1 performs a primary attack, it may spend a hit result if it does after defending the defender gains a strain token. So basically, when you shoot somebody at long range, you're shooting from range 3, and they're rolling 5 defense dice. You only roll 1 hit. You just sacrifice that hit for a strain on the opponent. But at initiative 4, I don't know how often it becomes helpful unless you have other low initiative ships or if you're flanking somebody else. So it's for the most part a mute ability. For the most part. But I think this loadout was the one that was it won a tournament. I forgot which one it was, but it was feedback ping bomblet generator, and it had mag pulse, but it had cluster or mag pulse missile, but one of the 4-point missiles, and basically what it's doing is it's using its speed, its ability to boost during the system phase, to just get in there and jam stuff up, drop a bomb. Do a K, or they don't have K turns, I think. Do a
sloop.
Yeah, do a sloop, and when the opponents that you bumped move, they'll, even if the bomb doesn't hit them, because they can reposition out of the way, just by moving in the proximity of it, you acquire the target lock with feedback ping, and then you can shoot your cluster / mag pulse missile on it. I don't think ion. Yeah, ion still works. So you can do cluster, ion, mag pulse. Threat tracers does. I mean, threat tracers might be good if you have a bunch of other lower initiative ships, which I don't see why you would. But yeah, so you get clusters, ion, and mag pulse as options.
Choose your 4-point missile.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I do like feedback ping. With those bombs, especially the boost bomb, or even really just like bomb boost.
Yep, bomb. I mean, just boosting before the sloop to set up that target lock attack is pretty amazing. I know you. Yeah, you fly. Wasn't this the bomber that you were flying around in your list, Marcel?
I flew this at one of the store champs, and it actually did pretty well. But it wasn't my bomber. Somebody won something with it, and I borrowed it from whoever flew it. But yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was doing it with clusters, but in retrospect, I should have done it with mag pulse, just because when you sloop behind them, they're probably at range 3 by then. So either ion or mag pulse.
Mag pulse is a little bit more utility because it works at 1 to 3, and also gives that deplete as well, and it's good for crates.
All good things. All good things. Anybody else have any? I love the feedback thing. That and the fact that they can do it themselves. They don't need another ship out there launching debris or something crazy like that. I'm not really sure. Oh, so they only have missile, no torp. I was looking for those plasmas. It only has concussion. I mean, concussion bomblet. If you need to.
You can also go thermal and skill bombardier.
Okay. I like that. I'm trying to think of you could do something similar with like mag pulse and targeting synchronizer, but I think you're probably better off just doing feedback ping or like a Zai shuttle helping out your team with targeting synchronizer.
Yeah, that's where the sensor buoy one really comes into play.
That is true. Yeah.
When you've got some if you've got a sensor buoy, which is a 4-point ship with the side shuttles, and then you've got both Dread and actually Dread can't even take it.
Dread can't take it. Dread can't ping.
They don't like them.
I don't see it. There's no ping.
No ping.
Jules Gerard, I never even saw that ship. Is that a new ship?
Yeah, it's from the Hot Shots and Aces 2. Actually,
after you perform, that's 13. Yeah, it's got 13 loadout. After you perform a boost action, you may spend the charge to remove a red or orange token.
Yeah. What are you removing though? I can't even remember.
I mean locks. Oh no, you can't. It says
not a lock.
Somebody jams you. The problem is that you're mostly boosting in the system phase, where all your round tokens would be gone. It would be nice for like ion, but you can't boost while ionized. So
you can't boost while stressed.
Yeah, you would need to put primed thrusters in there. Is that what it's called?
Daredevil.
After you boost.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well,
you spend it.
Oh,
prime thrusters.
Oh no, you need you need to go engine upgrade then Daredevil to get it.
Oh yeah, jeez. Can you get all of these engine upgrade? Oh, Daredevil's too expensive, isn't it? Daredevil's 5. Oh,
it's 5 now.
You can't do the primed engine Daredevil. You could go primed. If you want to like clear, you just have to boost in the system phase to clear stress.
Oh, to clear stress.
This sounds like a ridiculous statement, but possible.
Actually, check this out. With Joel Gerard, you can do. He's initiative 4, but you can boost, drop a bomb, loop, take a focus, and then use feedback to get the target lock, and then throw the plasma torpedo because you can feedback plasma, pattern analyzer, and a bomb.
Feedback, bomblet, missile. You got the plasma for plasma, huh?
You got room for plasma and pattern. So you can do a target lock focus.
Wow. Yeah, that 13.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty good. As long as they hit their bomb. I guess you just take a target lock as your pattern if they're not gonna give you that ping.
Bomb. Yeah. Yeah, but it's pretty easy to get. That's one of the things that I did notice. It's pretty easy to like boost for forward and just get into bumping range pretty early and just get behind them with these ships. I mean, let me restate that. It's not pretty easy, but you can you can set it up pretty often, a good number of times.
Wow. As a note, you can, if you go hard on that feedback buoys, you can fit 4 feedback pings. Scorch, Grudge, Jewel, Breach, and Gideon or Malorus, your choice there. Could get you 3 feedback, 3 or 4 pings in your squad.
You bought all those whispers. What are you gonna do with all those bombers?
That's true.
Put them in this list.
Sure. I don't know if this is recommended, but seems fun. Yeah, it's more at that point your opponent's just like, I'm going nowhere near wherever those sensor buoys are.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it turns out you can put them just like right next to the
Objectives. Yeah, that's true. It was like, well, these 2 scrambles, you want to come in and scramble them?
Yeah, scramble the buoys, dude. Scramble the buoys. Yeah, now they're shooting your buoys instead of you.
Yeah, they're
because
shooting
more
your
scared of the
buoys.
buoy. They're more scared of the buoy than they are of your ships.
Maybe. I don't know. Untapped potential in these bombers. Really, with the rise of good 5-pointers in First Order, and like 3-point FOs are still very powerful. When you have every single choice at 3 points. The bombers getting left to the wayside, I feel like. They're still, oh man, amazing. Double reposition on 6 health. Still very good. But I think that's going to round out our FO discussion for tonight. We are going to go out of here, I guess. Oh, God, the cat freaked me out, Marcel. Why does it look at the camera? It wants in our souls. No, don't you know you can't force the cat to do anything?
Yeah.
He's trying. No, that's not how cats work. Anyways, super excited. Like I said, check out. I just had it up. Special shout out to the Iberian Mudhorns. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but the Mudhorns streaming that Madrid World Open this weekend. So definitely check that out for X-Wing content. Plus the miniatures extravaganza as well. So plenty of things to watch this weekend for X-Wing. Did I miss anything, or are we getting out of here? Sounds good. Check out Dragonfall. Thank you. Looks like there's having some X-Wing events up there too. But for all of us here at Gold Squadron, stay safe, stay smart. I don't think that's the right catchphrase, but do both those things. And we'll see you next time. Gold Squadron, out.
Thank you to ISO, Danko, Baffle, Trojan, Prophet, Shadow, Tycho, Spice, Raider, Lancer, Fallen, Row 6, 626, Chief, and J List, our Grand Admiral patrons. And all of our Gold Squadron patrons and community members, thank you for your support. Gold Squadron, out.